Hello, everyone. My name is SpeedCuber, and today we are in the second episode of the Cubecast with TK. And today, Voiding is it's joining us. So, welcome to the podcast, man.
Thanks.
So, can you please introduce yourself to everyone in the chat?
So I'm Voiding, and I'm a member of Aleph. I used to be a member of Fractal before it merged with Hippogriff and Tech Iberia into Aleph. I think I've been playing Tech for like 4 months. I've been playing Minecraft like in general for like 8 years now.
Oh wow.
So and I'm a slimestoner. If you don't know what slimestone means, which you probably do, considering the audience that is watching this,
Yeah.
it's just flying machines and stuff that flies and moves around. So that's kind of what I do, and I'm just gonna be discussing things and explaining a few things about slimestone, I guess, and what my thoughts are.
Awesome. Yeah. So today's topic is obviously slimestone. So let's start with that. Voiding recommended me to install a mod called Beast Order. I'm using Andrew's version, but there's also a mod by Fallen Breath, right?
Yes, I use the one by Fallen Breath personally.
Yeah. So when you install the mod, you can right click a piston and it will show a few hints of information that Voiding will explain today, hopefully.
I will explain them.
Awesome. So where do you want to begin with?
In
this
the list of things that we came up with. I guess I can start us off with some slimestone basics. And
perfect.
Pretty much Ilmango made a video about this like years ago. And
okay.
I think it's still pretty useful to this day, but there's a lot of things that he missed and a lot of things that I think could be done better. And I think that like an update is due soon, and not necessarily Ilmango has to do it. Like, I think just anyone who knows Slimestone can do it. I'm thinking about doing one.
That would be great.
Pingu has mentioned it as well. Basically, there's just an update due pretty soon. So,
okay, I see.
Basically, what Ilmango talks about is in the video is like first he talks about basic flying machines like
yeah, like so for example the only one I know how to do it's something like this, right? So oh wait, not like that. Let me do it like here. So the one I know how to do, right, is something like this, and with observers, right? So let me grab observers, right? So
I already placed them.
Yeah, basically that. I mean, I place them like this. I'm not sure if that makes any difference, but yeah, then you just update one and it will fly, right? So that's basically the only thing I know how to do in flying machines.
Yeah, so there's a lot more to it. For example, we have this used to be the basic flying machine. Don't mind the fence gauge.
Yeah.
And this was, this is a basic like caterpillar engine, I think it's called. And basically what happens is, if I stop it here for a second, what happens is, like this on its own, these 4 blocks, this sticky piston is being quasi-powered by this redstone block.
Yeah.
And pretty much what that means is that if you update the piston, like you place a block next to it or whatever, then it will extend.
TK, can you activate carpet, all behave, flinting, and steel or something like that?
Behavior.
Yeah. We should have that in the.
Yeah, I'm turning it on right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's easier to do this. Okay, so yeah, exactly. So you need to update the piston, and that will extend it, and the redstone block will QC the piston, right? And
yes.
That's pretty much it. Okay.
So yeah, so sticky piston, quasi-powered. So if you give it an update, it will extend, and then it'll push these two blocks over, this segment over, and that will quasi-power this piston, and it will also update it. So this piston will then extend it and push it forward. But because it's also like already extended, once it pushes forward, this piston, by the time it gets updated, this piston is still like extended. So this piston won't update. So that's why you update it once and it moves forward one block instead of consistently moving forward.
I see.
Now, if you add something else to it, like this piston, this is the most pretty basic way of doing it. If you do that, then this piston pushing forward this segment is also updating the sticky piston.
Oh, perfect.
It updates it after it is this piston is done extending. So that's how that works.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that makes sense.
Way
I mean, you can probably do it with like note blocks or like lamps.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can do it with a note block, or not.
Maybe you need something else to update.
Really.
Yeah, but
something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, and now I don't know why I destroyed that, because now I have to like build up to it again.
You can do set block though.
Yeah, I can do set block, but I'm too lazy to type.
Oh my god. You can also use
the
Twiggeroo angel blocks. Yeah. So how is this one called?
This one is just a two-way, 2 blocks per second. This is just the most basic engine you could possibly think of.
Yeah.
And it works in 2 directions, so if I send it this way and then I can send it back the other direction by updating the observer. It's super basic. It's the most commonly used one. And yeah, so basically, you know, we know engines. You can actually attach stuff to this if you like add, you know, you can make a pushing extension if you have like an observer and then a piston like here. You can attach stuff to that. So now it's pushing along that segment. You can also make it pull stuff along if you add like a sticky piston and an observer like that. You can make it pull stuff, and basically you can make it do a lot of stuff with these mechanics. And this isn't the only engine exists. As you saw, I built that other one over there. Yeah. There's also an engine there's also engines that move faster. There's really just so many engines. There's engines that move slower. For example, I'm gonna build like a really basic like fast engine.
Okay.
Let's see.
Really basic. It just
really basic.
Keeps
placing blocks for half an hour, and yeah, this is fast, you know.
Yeah, this is a fast.
Oh wow.
At 3.3 blocks per second.
Oh wow.
Which it's a 6 game tick engine, so which means it moves forward once every 6 game ticks. So
that's really fast.
But because it's faster, you actually need like a special extensions. Like if I have this, this won't cut it. This won't work. As you can see, that person just got left behind.
I see. Absolutely.
So what you need to do, because this engine moves so fast, is you need a piston that finishes extending and retracting fast enough for it to be pushed along the next time. So if you do this, this will work because it's able because this piston
Yep.
when it gets moved forward, it gets updated by this redstone block. But as you see, I'm actually gonna set this up over here. If I have a piston like this, if you have a piston like this, and then a piston with this, like this, with another piston above it, then we have this set up. You'll notice if SpeedCuber, if you go like below this and you look very carefully,
Okay.
you'll notice that this piston will finish retracting before the other one.
Oh,
as you
that's
see.
yeah, absolutely. So
And
that's also how you power zero tick pistons, right? I've seen something like that, like using another piston to update a piston, right?
well, yeah, but you'll notice that both of them pushed the block forward at the
Same time. Yeah.
But just the other one with the piston above it retracted faster. So basically, because it retracts faster, that means like it finishes like it's like moving state. And basically, you know, if you don't know, if a piston is extended, you can't push it.
Oh, you can't push it. Okay. I actually
Yeah, so you can't push
didn't
an
know
extended
that.
piston. So, which is useful, and other times it's a pain. Like in this scenario, you have to figure out a way to get the piston to retract sooner, and this is one way of doing it. So now, if I activate this engine, it will work.
It will work. Yeah, I see.
Because it retracts fast enough to be pushed again.
Perfect. So yeah, one thing that always confuses me, right? Especially with large flying machines, it's how do you deal with the push limit?
Well, how you deal with the push limit is pretty simple. As I just mentioned, you can attach stuff to flying machines. So if I make this over here, if I just make that basic engine again,
Yep.
6 blocks, you can actually arrange this however, like, since slime blocks are solid, little demonstration up here, you can, like, power pistons through it.
Through it, yeah.
For example, if you use honey, which is like another sticky block, it works the same way as slime, except it slides past slime, so slime doesn't stick to it, as you can see.
Yeah, and
But it's also non-solid, so it won't power this piston if you do that. So but you can still use it in this way. You just have to quasi-power it like that.
ah, perfect, perfect. I see.
But with slime like this, you can put observers like this, and it will work. You can also, like, you know, you can put it underneath. You can, like, put it quasi-powering, as you can see, and that will work.
Perfect.
But as I was going to get into, you can attach extensions to this, and so because you can only put like a certain amount of blocks connected to this before it won't push, because pistons can only push 12 blocks at a time. If they push 13 or more, they won't push.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they also can't push immovable blocks, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
So, to get around this, there's a way of doing that by attaching stuff like extensions, as I demonstrated before. If you like add more pistons and sticky pistons and stuff, it can push and pull more stuff. So now we can get around this push limitation by adding more and more. So, like, if this was pushing all in like one go, it would be well over the push limit. But because I have a bunch more stuff, it will work.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
as I demonstrated, it gets trickier and trickier when you have faster engines. Like, you have to do this to get around it.
Absolutely, yeah. And to help with finding if you are in the push limit or not, we have the mod, right? Pist order.
Yeah. So if let's say I'm gonna have a piston like this, and I'm gonna place a few blocks. So if you right-click the piston, it'll say push. It can push in 6 blocks.
6 blocks. Yeah.
If I add 7 more, because the push limit is 12, you right-click it again, it says 13 blocks. And
Yep.
It says you can't push it.
Perfect.
If I remove one block, it will be able to push. So,
Fantastic.
and that's pretty much what you have to get around. That's what you're getting around by adding extensions. And the push limit can be a real pain sometimes, but you can always get around it by using extensions.
Yeah. So okay. Let me paste one schematic. All right. Because I think this is a good example. Let me find it. Okay. I don't know what it is.
While you're doing that, Cuber, I have a question for voting.
Yeah.
So, when you get into really compact redstone, where instead of having these really like lengthy, pretty obvious extensions,
Yeah.
is there still the same like form of extensions, even in much smaller, more compact things?
Of
more
course,
dense.
this is a pretty compact way of making a pulling extension. Instead of like having an extra block out here or below, it's inline, so it's it looks a bit nicer, I guess, and it's just the same amount of blocks, but it's more compact.
Okay. Look at this, for example, right? So in here, I have a lot of sticky pistons and regular pistons. Apparently, like in moving the same blocks, right? So, for example, the one down here. Yeah. So, according to the mod, it will only push the like these 6 blocks, right?
Which piston? Oh, this. Oh, yeah. Or it will
That
pull
one.
them because this gets
Yeah.
pushed forward. This segment.
Yeah. But
And that's because these two sticky blocks, these two slime blocks, are
Yeah.
only attached to these.
okay, okay, wait.
Now, actually, it also pull this piston right here. Oops, I destroyed it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But so okay. So my question, I think, was something like this. So if I have a piston here, right, with sticky blocks and then solid blocks, right, and then sticky blocks again, and then solid, right?
It will only push these bottom 4 blocks.
Oh, okay. So
That's because
yep.
you would need another piston to push this segment, and this would push 6 blocks like that. Since this is pushing a segment of sticky blocks, if you wanted to connect these, you would have to connect it with another sticky block.
Oh,
like
I see.
this. So now it would push
Perfect. Okay, so
Yeah.
a piston can only. Okay, so slime can only move other blocks if it's directly connected with sticky blocks to the piston. That makes sense, right?
Or you can do this. You can push more sticky blocks if you do that.
Yeah, but if
it won't pull,
if
obviously.
you do it like that, it will not
It will
push.
also push.
Or okay, I'm super
Because they're
confused now.
connected to this.
Oh, but okay, pushes but doesn't pull. Okay, I see.
Yeah, but if you do this, now it will
Now it
pull
will
because
pull.
this
Okay.
this segment of slime is all connected.
Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, that's kinda confusing a little bit because I always assumed that pistons, I mean slimes, will pull or like blocks with them, right? But apparently that's not the case. Like they have to be like sticked to the piston. So, for example, even though this observer in the back, right, has a slime block on top and in the bottom, it will not like transfer the stickiness.
I guess, yeah.
I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I mean, I understood, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
basically, in a
makes sense.
nutshell, just a good way of explaining it is that if the slime segment is directly attached to the piston, it will be able to pull.
Yeah.
If not, so this slime segment isn't directly attached via more slime.
Yeah.
So this won't pull, but you know, even if I have this, it won't pull it. But if I
Perfect.
have slime here, as you can see, it is attached. So this slime block is able to make its way to the piston head, so it will pull.
Perfect. Perfect.
So that's
Yeah.
how you explain that.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. This is like a really neat one wide tunnel bore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so now
And I can actually
yeah.
break this down if you want. So as
Oh,
you can
yeah.
see here, you'll notice a familiar pattern if you saw the engine, the basic 6-block engine you just saw. You'll notice there's a familiar pattern. There's 2 sticky pistons and 2 observers.
Oh, so
And
this
that's
is
an
like
engine.
okay, perfect.
Yeah, and also this sticky piston also is moving.
So
Yeah. So if you flick this trapdoor, this will start flying backwards, as you can see. And it'll reverse directions because of this return station over here.
perfect. So the piston in here, it's an extension then.
Yes, it's an extension.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so basically by knowing these basic things, just engines and extensions, you can pretty much break down a lot of more complex contraptions just by knowing these basic things.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It makes perfect sense now.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
What else do you want to show us today? Because I see a lot of things in this side.
Well, we will talk about that later. That's about like update order and stuff. That's getting a bit more on the complex side.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep talking about a few basic stuff. So, as we said, we talked about like extensions, right? So but like if you attach a bunch of these together, you'll notice that there's like delay between them. And
Yes.
in some machines you want like an entire like row, sometimes hundreds of blocks long, to move forward at the same time. So if there's delay between these extensions, how do you do that? Because this clearly doesn't work.
Exactly.
Oops, I kept that. So
Yeah, like
it's not instant.
yeah, and if you add like 200 to the side, it will be like significant delay, like a
Yeah.
massive delay.
So if you want to like move something forward like 100 blocks long at the same time, you're gonna need something called instant extensions. And basically, because so I'm gonna explain the mechanics behind this. When you move a redstone block that's connected to a piston, when you move that, like, so if I do tick freeze, so
Okay.
once I just powered that piston, and if I do tick step 1, you'll notice that the first tick that this is moved, this piston is updated and it retracts.
Okay, so it's instant.
Yes.
Basically.
So, and because it's instant, because you move this instantly, if you have, say, like more pistons like this, all of this will happen at the same time. Watch. Okay, that's embarrassing. That I'm. We're gonna cut that out of the video, please.
That would be fine, except Cubert's too lazy to edit. So.
I'm not gonna edit, so
Oh God, I'm just an embarrassment right now.
don't worry about it.
Holy shit.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
The great
about it.
slimestoners
Can I
will be
swear?
looking down on you.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, this is a better demonstration. As you can see, if I remove this, all of them will retract at the same time.
Oh, Perfect.
because it's instant. But if I pull this back, it because the redstone block isn't already next to it, you have to wait until the block actually becomes next to the piston. So this will cause delay, as you
Perfect.
can see.
Yeah.
If I move it out of the way, it's instant. And that's basically the idea of how these instant extensions work. You move a redstone block out of the way, and that will instantly update this piston. And basically what you can do, the sticky piston itself won't move, so you need an extension here to actually move it with some delay afterwards. But you can continue this pattern, as I just showed, of removing these redstone blocks from next to sticky pistons, and you'll notice when I
Okay.
start moving this,
Yep.
this will all move at the same time.
Oh wow.
So that's how you get over that. And
Okay.
again, back to like the issue of like faster engines and you needing like special extensions to deal with them. There's you can't just use this because this won't be fast enough, as we showed. It won't keep up.
Exactly.
So you need some special instant extensions to deal with this situation. And
You need faster instant extensions, basically.
yeah, and basically one I came up with is this. This will work as an instant extension. It's a little ugly. Don't worry about it. There's other ones that you can do.
Okay. This block here won't pull.
Ah, right. I put it one block further. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Now it will work.
Okay. So this one works with the 6 game tick engine, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So if I can attach this.
This looks way too complicated already.
But okay, so well, I'll break it down then. So
Okay.
when this sticky piston pulls back, these two pistons, because this one's next to each other and they're both getting like quasi-powered by these redstone blocks, as I showed with that the two sticky pistons like on top of each other, they just have to be next to each other and powered at the same time. So basically, this piston will extend and retract early enough so that it will be able to be moved
Oh,
next.
I see.
So
That
this
makes
will
sense,
be able
yeah.
to keep up. So
Oh,
it's an
wow.
instant extension. All this moves at the same time.
Correct. So yeah, with this, you have like a really fast machine that can be any longer, basically, and it will
Yeah.
move everything at the same time, which is really useful, of course.
Yeah. And there are
Perfect.
faster engines. This isn't the fastest engine. There's like there's engines that move at like 5 blocks a second that
Oh wow.
I can't be asked to build right now because I haven't had them memorized.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, I think I'm finally understanding like the basics of flying machines.
Yeah.
So-
And
So, wait one second. So like, if you've never done Slimestone before, how would you get into doing Slimestone? Would you have to completely learn how everything works and then try to make things, or sometimes is it better to try to make things and figure out why they work later?
this is a question that I hear all the time. How do I get started? Where do I start? How do I like start doing all of this? How do I go from 0 to hero? And my answer to that is just kind of just learn the basics and start like analyzing stuff that people have already created. Like, just like take a build from a slimestoner that that knows what they're doing, and kind of like break it down and look at it and see, okay, so this does this and this does that. So for example, if you like break down a tunnel bore, you'll be able to like see, okay, this is a TNT duper, this is a instant extension, this is the engine, this is a return station, and stuff like that. And you can pick apart what it does and then take what you learned, take all those circuits that you figured out and try to make something with it. And that's how I started. I looked at Ilmango's tunnel bore, and I just kind of picked it apart, and I'm like, okay, so this does this does that, and I tried making something out of it. I tried to what did I try to make? I tried to make like this weird horizontal quarry because I had no idea that there were vertical quarries that were way faster. So I like took a quarry from like years ago and tried to make one of those. I didn't really get very far.
So
But like it's kind of like you kind of just have to like it comes with experience, right?
okay, so
You
wait. So
yeah.
you said you started with tech like 4 months ago, right?
Yes.
And you were working on a quarry.
Yeah.
That sounds kinda ridiculous to me.
Well, in the at the end of the day, all these different like complex machines are made up of smaller, simpler machines. If I were to load my quarry right now, I could like go on and on an hour about for hours explaining what every single little thing is, and it would basically boil down to this is an engine, this is like an extension, this is an instant extension, this is TNT duper, all this stuff, and I would basically just go on, and people would be able, if you know what an engine and an instant extension and an extension and a TNT duper is, you would be able to understand what I'm talking about and like piece it all together.
Yeah, like I can see myself like grabbing World Eater, and I will probably be able to understand everything after uh, what you explained
Yeah.
today. So yeah, like I can kind of see that, but like designing a quarry, like that's just, I don't know, man. That sounds like a lot, you know?
Yeah, the hardest part really is just getting started. But once you start like getting things rolling, um, and you know at least some basics, you can pretty easily come up with solutions to each problem that you come up with. And I admit
Oh, I
it
see.
becomes tedious at times because I've designed an 11 block quarry.
Okay.
Currently, it doesn't work, and I've abandoned that project because it just trying to fix it. It's just gonna take up too much of my time, and it's not really worth it. And
Yeah,
I've moved on to other projects. But
you also worked
like,
with Casamir,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and eventually, like we kind of went on our own ways, and I started working on it alone. And Kazammer said he would like do his own version of the concept, but
Oh, I see.
I had to do the brain circuitry all by myself, and that took I'm literally hundreds of versions before I
Oh, wow.
got the entire thing like functioning to a certain degree. Like it would automatically move forward and work.
Yeah.
That reminds me a lot of the first three-way bedrock breaker that Desktop did, because by the time he was done, we were building version 1017 in survival.
Oh, that's
So,
that's that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's even like more. That's like 50 times more versions than I had. Bedrock breakers are just they're on a whole nother level. They're like even crazier than 11 block quarries. I thought like making 11 block quarry brain circuitry was bad. I I can imagine if I were to try to like start from zero making a bedrock breaker, like a 3-way bedrock breaker, I would be there for months.
Yeah.
So
Desktop folder was literally months
yeah.
working on the first one. The new one, which is not public right now, but it will in the next few days. He have a lot of help from Xire,
X-Wire, yeah.
Xwire, yeah, and yeah, like it's impressive how like all the small small tweaks that he made, and like they went from a massive design to a really, really, really small one. Uh, I, 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 I can't leak, of course, but it's super tiny, and like even desktop said that he doesn't really like understood most of the time what XY or was doing.
I feel you. I
yeah.
feel that. I've worked with him before. Um,
Oh, nice.
I think yeah, binary and XY were making like a movable binary decoder or something. I can't exactly remember, but I kind of just logged on to Prototech CMP where they were working, and I was like, okay, hey, what are you guys doing? And I saw, and I kind of like I kind of like joined in a little bit. I placed a few blocks, but most of what XY was doing, it was a combination of like not really like understanding where his head was at, because it's really hard to understand like what
Yeah,
other people's thought processes are.
absolutely.
But also it was just me being like worried to make any changes, because I knew for a fact that like whatever I did, he would like he would like change later on because it didn't work.
yeah. Oh man.
But
Alright, let's
yeah, I totally get that. Like when he's working on something complicated like a three-way bedrock breaker, I can totally understand like it's hard to like help him out. It's hard to like try to like jump in and help out, because like you're not entirely confident if what you're doing will be good.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Alright, let's move on to the update order things we wanted to talk about as well.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a few more things that I could go over with those, but I could I'm just saying I could go down a rabbit hole of like thousands of different, maybe not thousands, but hundreds of different like instant extensions that you can make. You can make them go up, down, left, right, back in time.
Yeah.
You can make them go. You can activate them from like two different sides. You can make them go two directions. It's just absolutely bananas how many different versions you can make. And I could go down that rabbit hole, but I'm not going to,
Yeah.
because this podcast would literally be like 10 hours if I did
Oh my
every
god.
single
Yeah,
extension.
that's yeah. I mean, you definitely explain like in super simple language how things work. So I think that you should definitely make a video about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that.
Yeah. Okay, so
I want to make a video like where I go over every single like one-way extension I can think of, and
I
then
mean,
at the end of the
yeah.
video be like, there's like so many more that I haven't covered.
Absolutely. Okay, so
Yeah,
I see weird numbers being here, like one up in the right, then two is all the way in the left, then
yeah.
three
So
it's
this
like in the
is
corner.
yeah. So this is update order. This is different from like your regular like redstone update order. This is like an entirely new update order for slime, or for
Okay.
sticky blocks in general. And this is a little bit more, well, different. By a little
Okay.
bit I mean a lot. So if you come down here, I have this little code that I have. So the diamond block, where I put the diamond block, is like what updates first. Emerald updates second, iron third, gold fourth, and then the netherite block just updates last.
Okay.
So let's just start here. So this on this side is just really basic, just really cursory, just like what goes first and what goes last. So if you click on the piston, it won't really tell you much. But,
Yeah.
I've labeled it here with the signs.
Perfect.
Signs mess it up. So the ones on the outside update early. The ones towards the middle update like after early. And then the middle column directly next to the piston updates last. And basically, what this means, it's kind of hard to pick apart what exactly this is, but to explain it simply, blocks further away from the sticky piston or from the piston, it doesn't have to be a sticky piston, but
Yep.
blocks further away from it will update first.
Okay.
So this this one furthest away will update first, then this one second, and then this one third. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. For example, if we have like rows of this,
Oh.
you would think that like this one will update, and then this one, and then this one, but like you wouldn't really be able to tell which one goes first, and that's not even correct. First of all, because how it works is it updates in rows.
In rows. Okay. Let me click the piston to see. Oh, yeah. So this one first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the last row. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, it'll update in the row. Why do you delete the piston?
I meant to right click. I left clicked.
Oh my
Confusing
god.
sometimes.
This game is too hard. I don't know what click to click first.
There's just so many options that sometimes I forget.
So many clicks, so many buttons to press. Okay, but
basically, so
yeah.
First, this row furthest away, so horizontally further away from the piston, this row over here will update first. Since this block in this row is furthest away from the origin of the piston, this will update first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you hit the second row. So then you go all the way back up here, 5, 6, 7,
Perfect.
8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12.
But
now,
what if I have this?
Yeah, that's the thing. And here's where it gets a little bit weird.
So
pretty much.
So this seems like east south to north, right?
Yeah. So this one to the left will update first. I'll be honest, this is confusing even for me.
Oh my god. Okay, so this one is first for some reason. Then it's the one in the other side because it's the second furthest away, like in this in this order. Then it comes back to this one.
Yep.
And then oh my god. I wonder what happens if I put the thing in the other side, right? So it's
first.
still the south one.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's like, it would take someone like hours to like experiment with tons of different formations to figure out exactly like every single specific rule about how it works.
Yeah, this is very confusing. So it's south one first, then north one if they are in the same distance, right? And then I have no idea. 8. Where is 9? Oh, in here. So in the diagonal. Okay, so we can probably break this down to a single layer, right? A single slice.
Yeah.
Like this. Oh man, this is so confusing.
Yeah, so this makes it a lot easier if you just remove all that. So this is pushing so this one with the 1 will update first. So if I grab these blocks down here, so that one will update first, and then this one will update second. And then here's where it gets confusing because it's like a diamond shape. This one will update third.
What?
This one will update fourth.
Oh
it gets
my
weird
god.
when it's in a diamond shape. So
yeah,
let's like
really weird.
It.
Oh, okay,
so over here,
but before that, I have a question though. Why is it important to know which one updates first if they are all pushed in the same tick, right?
Well, it matters because sometimes you run into situations like down here. So these 4 redstone blocks are being pushed, and they're being pushed into these pistons. So that begs the question, which piston is going to be updated first?
Oh,
and that
perfect.
depends on the update order. So because this redstone block right here, the one I'm standing on, gets updated first, this piston that it's going to be powering will be the one that extends. So if I push this,
That's the one.
there you
Oh, I
go.
see. Yeah,
Now
so
if I remove this redstone
Yep.
block, since this one would have been the second, so now that one is going to activate that piston. Now again, if I remove that top one, and if I remove the top one, now it's the only one.
Okay, so without the mod, this is basically impossible.
Yeah, unless you like have everything, you know, you've memorized everything and you know every single like little rule.
Yeah, I
Basically,
see.
so if you're looking in the direction that the piston is facing, I'm gonna break it down. So if you're dealing with sides, the side to the right actually is going to be the side that updates first, and then the left, then up, and then down. Now this gets a little weird when the piston is facing up. What if the piston's facing up? Well, this applies if you are facing in the north direction. So if you right click the piston,
Okay,
you'll
you need
notice-
to face
so if
north.
you're facing north, the same applies. So I'm facing towards the north direction. So this one
Oh, right,
is
left,
first. So
then
right, left,
up, down.
down.
Perfect. I see. Okay, okay,
And
that's
it
not
gets more convoluted when
with
you have
diamond shapes. Yeah, that's
diamond
you
shapes.
have those actually up here. It's the
Yeah.
exact same perfect sample. Let me unclick those.
Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially, when you're dealing with these diamond shapes, so of course, you're dealing with the outer ones as we showed over here. The outer ones furthest rows from the pistons will update early, but which ones update first? Well, you gotta memorize it like this: left, or no, it's not. That's not left. Right, left.
Right, left, up, down. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
like
that
when
seems
it's
to be
diamond
like
shapes,
like it seems to be like you have to face the east, like the northeast, for that to be true.
yeah, so it's left, or I can't get left and right. Right, left, and then it's upper right, upper left, and then up. And then it's
Oh my
lower
God.
left, lower right, down.
That just makes no sense.
Slime update order, everyone.
Oh
It's-
my God, this is insane.
Without this mod, it's just so
It's
annoying.
impossible. It's impossible.
And
I
this update
mean-
order also matters for like stuff like
X,
yeah,
Y,
it's
or camp, like he maybe knows all of this, but like it's
yeah, he probably knows this.
Yeah,
I'm going to guess that he knows this.
yeah, but this is so confusing.
Yeah, if this matters for stuff like TNT dupers, like what the update order is. If I have like a duper like this, let's make sure carpet TNT do not update true, so I don't mess this up. And I place that TNT there. So if you right click this piston,
Yep.
so first the coral, and don't worry about the slime blocks. First the coral, then the TNT, then the supporting block underneath the minecart, and then the rail. So remember that. So coral, TNT, supporting block, rail. Now if I move, so now if I activate this, it won't dupe when I push, but it'll dupe when I pull down, and that's gonna blow up down there.
Okay.
Oh wait, explosion block damage is off.
Yeah.
If I move the piston down here, now everything gets thrown out of the loop.
Oh,
So
this
now
is
it's
one.
coral. Now
and
it's
then-
coral. Now it's the rail. Then it's the TNT, and then it's the supporting block, and that throws everything out of haywire, and it doesn't dupe. So when you push it, it just messes up.
I'm just blown away. That
Yeah,
makes
so
no sense to me. Oh my
this-
God. Okay.
This order is just it becomes really important to get it right, and that's why only some configurations of TNT dupers work. It's because of the update order, and if you push it from one block, it won't work, and if you push it from another, it will. It's yeah. And
Perfect. So
yeah.
it needs to be first the coral, then the TNT, then the supporting block, and the minecart last. I mean
yeah.
the rail.
Yeah, pretty much. So then if I have... I didn't do it right. Okay, there we go. And now, as you'll see, first the coral updates,
Yep.
and then the TNT, and then the supporting block, and then the rail again. So that means that this will also dupe, and the special thing about this one is because of the wall underneath the TNT, it will actually launch the TNT forward.
Oh wow.
So this is useful for TNT dupers.
Oh wow.
Or sorry, not TNT, but Tunnel Wars is what I meant to say. If you remove this and like replace it with like a fence gate, then the TNT will
It will just fall.
just drop. Yeah.
I see. Wow.
But that remains the same. So it's coral, TNT, supporting block, and rail. I think again, I this is what I think is going on. And I hope I'm right in not spreading misinformation.
I mean,
that's just what I've been able to gather.
I don't think that anyone will be able to correct you if you are wrong, because the amount of players that actually knows this are very limited. You know, like it's probably you, XY or desktop folder, Pingu, yeah, XCOM, and like yeah, but like probably less than 30 people, I will say.
Yeah, and I will also add on that I'm pretty sure that the supporting block, like the first it was a cobblestone wall known as fence gate, that also needs to be there, because now since I removed it in this example, it won't do. So that also matters actually. So yeah, there needs to be.
Yeah, like for example, the thing that always bugged me is that in some orientations and some configurations, if you put the TNT, it will immediately activate, but in others it won't. So,
yeah,
for example, pin here, if you place the TNT, nothing happens, right? But if you place the wall, then it...
Well, if you place it, well, because I turned the carpet rule, TNT do not update. If that's off, which is by default, if you load the vanilla game, then you don't have that. If so, let me just turn it to false. If you place a TNT there, it's just gonna activate.
Oh, okay. I see.
That's why I turned it to true, so I don't have to push the minecart onto there.
I see.
So
perfect,
you can
perfect.
get this to work in vanilla if you just have like, if you have the protector rail, and then you put the minecart on there.
And then you push it,
push it over. Yeah. Then you can do that in vanilla.
Yeah, like I know how to do that because I've built a lot of these things in survival, but I never understood like why, you know. But now I think I have a better idea of it, you know.
Yeah, it's just really annoying to like try to pick apart like, okay, why isn't this TNT duper working? Why do other ones work? You know, it gets really really annoying.
Definitely
trying to pick that apart, but I'm fairly certain I'm not even an expert on this. I mean, if you grabbed like Pingu or XWire on the podcast, well, XWire like keeps his mic muted, so that wouldn't really work.
Yeah. That can be really hard.
Be able to explain this so much better than me.
Maybe honestly. Desktop actually, yeah. But okay, so there's actually one thing I would really love to discuss with you. which has to do with this contraption, right? And that's using something like this or digging. Which one do you prefer and why?
Ooh, dig versus dupe.
Dig
Yeah,
versus
dig
dupe,
versus
yeah.
So
The holy
basically,
wars, man. The holy wars.
basically either using world eaters or digging.
Yeah.
Personally, I really like both.
Oh, really?
So digging is fun and relaxing. Like it gives me stuff to do. Like it's nice like digging on a server, like on a tech server, because usually you have a scoreboard, like
Yeah,
that
exactly.
measures like how many blocks you've dug, and it's nice to like make that number go up. That's satisfying.
It is. Yeah.
It is,
And
yeah.
just like in both world eaters and just digging manually, they have their advantages and disadvantages, because when you're digging you get to keep all the resources, you collect all the resources from the area, like you're as if like you quarried it away. With world
Yeah,
eaters, all the resources
exactly.
get destroyed.
Yeah,
But
and
world eaters do it faster.
it's so much faster. So much faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're digging like a 1,000 by 1,000 perimeter,
That's a
You're-
million blocks per layer.
I'm not using a pickaxe to dig that out.
Oh,
unless
no.
I really wanted to die.
Unless you bring the whole squad with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
you would need like
yeah,
the manpower
exactly.
of Aleph to complete that in like a lifetime, really. Like,
Yeah, a
duh.
lifetime.
in a life. Yeah, yeah. Like so. 1K by 1K. That's about what? Like 70 million blocks, something like
Yeah,
that.
about that, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
just
digging that
a lot
manually-
of time. Yeah, so that's let me do the math actually, right? So it's 70 million blocks, right? And you dig about 35K an hour on average, right? So
Yeah.
that's about 2,000 human hours.
Yep.
That's just
How
a
many days
lot
is
of
that?
time. How many days
That's
divided by
83
24?
days.
It's
Like
83
2.5
days,
months.
but like
Yeah.
non-stop though, non-stop, right? So
that is almost as long as Aleph SMP, the server I play on, has been up for. It's been up for like 85, 86 days.
oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have, let's say, 10 players, right? So every player only has to dig for like 200 hours, which is a lot, but not really. So let's say you play like 5 hours per day, right? Like it's only 40 days. Like it's doable, you know? But with a world eater, you can probably do that in like 2 days.
2 hours. Yeah.
Not 2 hours, but like, yeah, like
Yeah, not a few hours.
Yeah,
It
but,
depends
like-
on like how big the meter is.
2 days. Yeah, like for a 1K by 1K, it's like about 2 days, I would say.
Yeah, for
About
like a
2
smaller
days.
like render distance perimeter, it's a lot less.
So
Yeah.
I've made like, I don't know how many perimeters, but I've made a lot of perimeters, and I also have a combined total of like 4.1 million per users or something, and
Yep.
I think that both things are fine. And I've done digging projects that I've regretted. I've also done
Oh,
world eater projects
a
I've
spider
regretted.
eye? Am I right?
Yep. There's nothing worse than digging an entire perimeter and then not needing it or not using it, or digging for just no reason. If you're gonna dig something and put
Yeah.
the time to doing a custom shape, it should be useful and it should be
Yeah.
good. And
Just
I feel like-
for the context, with TK and Rock, we made a custom shape perimeter in Mechanists. We dug for like what, months? Like 6 months? And it was for a dual witch farm, right? But the raid farm came out, and we didn't need the witch farm, and it was like half dog. So we completely abandoned the project like midway. It was awful.
Yeah, it was really demoralizing because we dug so much in like a week. We did so much.
Yeah.
Like all day, every day for like a week, and then it was like, well, we don't need this anymore.
We don't need
So
this
yeah,
anymore.
I've regretted that. I regret digging Drowned Farm. That was a waste of time.
Drowned Farm?
Yeah.
It's a cool shape though, and it's probably
Yeah,
the fastest Drowned Farm in survival. Because
Not for long.
like
Wait till you see what we're doing on Lunar.
yeah, but like it's like the only Drowned Farm with a perimeter. So, you know. Yeah,
Which
so
says a lot.
yeah, exactly. And I think we needed like two tridents. So
No, we needed. No, it was 5. Okay, it was 5. We needed 5.
five tridents.
Yeah, so we dug
So
5 million blocks.
we dug 5 million blocks, and we built a farm
Yeah.
to get 5 tridents. Yeah, it ran for like 30 minutes or something like that. You know.
So my opinion is that servers have the option of digging or duping. In my opinion, single players digging is not an option. Like, and I know people dig in single player, but it's not an option in my opinion. Why would you do that?
I
Why?
will have to disagree with you because I dig a lot in my single player.
Okay,
Actually,
no. I don't mean like digging trenches or small
No,
areas. I
oh,
mean digging a full-blown perimeter by yourself.
Oh yeah, that's different because in my single player I dug the trenches for view distance world eater. So in my opinion, doing something like that is the best of both, right? Because you dig, so that's fun and you get materials and you can make a custom shape, right? But the middle section is completely blown up, and that's probably like 80% of the blocks. So it's like a fair middle ground, in my opinion. But yeah, in single player, so aside from that, I dug a small perimeter. It's like a 3x3 chunk for a whiskey farm in a Soul Sand Valley. So you only need like the area for the farm itself.
Yeah.
But like
What do you think, Pudding?
What?
What do you
like
think about
in single player, like digging.
Well, I don't know. It just depends. You know, like depends on your circumstances whether you should like dupe or dig. If it's ridiculous and it's going to take you like months to complete, then obviously, if you dig, then dupe. If you know, it's a smaller project, it's a smaller perimeter, and you know you're not, you know for sure you're not going to waste your time on it, like digging like a giant perimeter for a drowned farm that you like use once.
Yeah, who would do that?
Then you want to use a world eater.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Yeah, like
So I think
yep.
I think duping is fine. A lot of people's argument against it, digging versus duping is not so much the actual TNT part. It's more of the fact that you're duping it and it's not like legit or whatever. And I think that this is the only compromise would be if we had movable tile entities or block entities, because if those existed, there would be no reason to dupe TNT. That would be out of laziness. Honestly, it would. But
I mean,
right
the
now,
thing
some
is,
people.
you need a lot of resources for that. So
you need a lot of TNT.
yeah.
Well, yes, but it would also mean you would have to design more TNT efficient designs, Right now, people don't
That's
care
also
about
true.
TNT efficiency in anything,
Yeah, basically.
and it means perimeters are harder. Like on Mechanist, we have like over 20 perimeters, which is insane.
I think we have like
And
close to 30 now.
yeah, like close to 30 now. And I mean, the only reason we have so many is because of TNT duping, because it's so easy. And I think it's too easy. It shouldn't be that easy.
I
The
mean,
only hard part is the
yeah,
trenches.
we have made perimeters like view distance perimeters in like 9 hours. Yeah, that's probably way too fast, most likely. You know? So maybe like a harder way that's more fair, because at
Yeah.
the moment the difference in like amount of effort between dig and dupe, like it's massive. It's massive. It's like thousands of hours.
Oh, wait, so we made a rendered in perimeter in what did we say? We said 9 hours, just over 9 hours.
Yep.
Rendered in perimeter, or the one we're counting is it would be 530 by 530. So if you do 530 by 530 by like 65, I guess, for like an average height,
Yeah.
that's 18.2 million, give or take.
Yeah.
And then if you divide that number by like how fast you
35K.
actually can
Yeah.
you can dig. Yeah, if you divide that by 35, I'm doing that right now. If you divide that by 35,000, that's 520 hours.
520 hours. Wow.
So 511 hours longer than to just.
Yeah. Which the difference is massive, right? So I think that leads to the issue of like, if you want to finish fast, you have to dupe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't think it's that fun, but to be honest, I've done like 5 perimeters in the past like 2 months, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Personally, I like when it comes to like between if you're arguing between like back to the discussion about like if we had movable block entities instead of duping, I personally I personally am more of a fan of like OP shit that's like it's like I know it's unfair, but like you know I prefer it anyways because it's just more annoying to complete something if it's harder to do it. Of course, if it's too easy, you know, you're running into a problem. But like, you know, preparing a perimeter is still a decent amount of work. You have to dig the trenches, you have to build the world eater, you have to run it, you have to like remove obsidian if it's in the overworld. You have to
Oh
do a bunch
yeah,
of stuff.
definitely.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I
it's
just recently soloed a void render distance perimeter. I'm not leaking. I just recently soloed a render distance perimeter, and I didn't have a super excess amount of materials. So when I was doing things, I couldn't do them usually the most efficient way. And I also didn't have time to do like any digging. I didn't have time. It was too slow for me. So what I ended up doing is I made a 3 wide trencher for the side trenches for all trenches. So there was a 3 wide hole around the entire perimeter, and then I duped for the rest of the 15 wide trenches. But because I didn't have the time to do it the more efficient way, while still ending up with smooth walls, which is what I wanted, that process on its own took 5 or 6 days, and then it took me about a day and a half to finish the rest of the perimeter with building the world eater, running it, and removing the obsidian. So it's just even doing it the quick way, it still takes a lot of time. And we said that the render distance perimeter took 9 hours when we did it when we speedran it, but there were also 10 to 15 people there.
yeah,
So
but like
if you multiply the math, that's like 50 or 60 hours instead of 9.
yeah, true. But also most of the work is in the first like 3 hours, and after that you only need like one player, like making sure it like nothing breaks. So yeah, It's
That's
more
true.
of a like 40 hours or so of work. Okay, I have another question for you, Voiding. What do you
Yeah.
think about easy plays in survival?
Easy place. It makes things really fast and stuff, and for like decorative perimeters, it honestly it's a pain to not use it. Um, but like for redstone, I would argue against it because like sometimes when you're like making redstone, if you're using easy place, it's easy to skip over something, and that could like make or break the entire, or that could just break the entire thing. In using easy places, it's just like it's OP anyways. And if you're like on a server like with only a few people, I can understand it. It makes things way faster. But if you're on a server with like a bunch of people, you know, you can still use it, of course. But like for some redstone stuff, it's just a bit like OP if you already have that many people. But personally, if I were to just choose in general between easy place and no easy place, I think I would say easy place.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
just just because I don't know, it's um I don't know. It's just I again, as I mentioned earlier, I prefer um more overpowered doing stuff the overpowered way, the faster way, than doing it like the slow way.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like, not all of us can play like 10 hours a day. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah,
All right,
exactly.
let's talk about one more thing, and
Sure.
that's gonna be Voiding has very recently, this week, created a new Discord for Slimestone Archives, and I want to really stress how important not only that Discord is, but other sub-specialized Discords for things of a similar manner are for the entire community, for new people, even for experienced people, just how important that actually is. And
Yeah. Um, pretty much. Um, it's super important because like when you have like one Discord for like a bunch of like for everything, like at the Tech MC archive, or TMA, as most people abbreviate it as,
Yep.
it there's a lot to like, there's a lot that you're sacrificing by having it all in one place. For a lot of things, um it works out, but for other like more specific like types of tech MC, like slimestone, specifically for slimestone, um like everything slimestone related kind of gets crushed into like a few channels, like helper flying machines and useful or random contraptions, um and and quarries, I guess. Yeah, that too. And you're kind of missing, you're kind of missing out because like not everyone's going to be posting like all their instant extension designs, and if they were, it would kind of just like flood the channel anyways. So like it, it's you're sacrificing a lot of things by having it the Discord for like one um or for one thing. And when you have it, if you have like a bunch of different ones, I'm still like, I'm not against TMA existing. I think it's great. Just that like the thing is that, as I said, everything is crushed into a few channels. So if you have a bunch of specific channels, you can still keep TMA because it works for some things, but for others it doesn't. So if you, for the things that it doesn't really work that well for, you can, what you can do is make a specific Discord for it, and that helps so much because then, like for example, Slimestone, you can have more channels for all the different stuff, and like people are gonna be like posting more specific things, like really useful, um really useful stuff. Like a lot of basic building blocks of Slimestone is just it's completely lost and it's not really documented anywhere. I mean, everyone knows like the basic engine, the 6-block engine, and the basic instant extension, but not everyone knows like an extension that can be activated from both ends or a two-way instant extension. Not everyone knows how to make a 3.3 blocks per second engine. So like if you have a Discord specific for that with all the channels for all of that stuff, it becomes easier to find things, and it's really helpful for people who want to learn Slimestone because their only resource really is to ask Slimestoners, which not everyone has the courage to do, because if you know Il Mango, like if you ping him in the side Discord, he's
Yeah.
he's not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like if you don't know too many Slimestoners, you don't really know who to ask. So if there's no specific place with all of this stuff, there's Myron's video about update order, about Slimestone update order, and there's also Il Mango's video about basic Slimestones, which I explained earlier. That there's a lot of stuff that's just missing from that video. He doesn't even cover instant extensions. He covers some engines and return stations, and but mostly like he also goes over like old Slimestone that no one really does anymore. Even though there's observers out when he at the time of making that video. So like it's still useful, but it doesn't cover everything, and like the stuff like about Slimestone specifically is just really not very well documented, and that goes for a bunch of other stuff. So to have a place where people can go to learn that stuff is helpful, not only to like people who want to learn Slimestone, but also to people who are Slimestoners, and like because every single basic circuit that can possibly be made, for every single circuit, not everyone can possibly know that. So to have a place where people can just like search it up, they can type it in the search bar and they can find it, and they're like, oh, that's useful. It helps so much to have that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so Voiding, thanks a lot for being here. The conversation was super interesting, and I learned a lot. Do you have any shout outs or anything you want to say?
Shout outs. As for shout outs, I want to give a huge shout out to XWire, because he's kind of like I never would have had this idea of creating a Slimestone archive Discord if like so one day like me and Kazamer were working on my 11-block core. This was like a week before the Aleph SMP like opened. They opened the CMP so we can like move all our redstone stuff over there. And so I put my core there, and I was kind of working on it, and Kazamer, I don't know if he joined before or after XWire joined, but I was like live streaming progress in like one of the Discord channels, and XWire was there, and he's like he started like giving feedback like stop using shit instant extensions, and I'm like, okay, elaborate. And he's like, sure. And because he had CMP access, he could just he could just log on. And he like started building shit, and like I think Kazamer logged on, and like he started like building a bunch of like cool stuff, and we're like, okay, this is cool, you should teach us. And he's like, okay, I'll give you a lesson. It was like 2 a.m. It was like 2 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So he's like, we'll give you a 2 a.m. lesson. And he just started going over a bunch of crazy shit that me and Kazamer had no idea was a thing. Like, for example, like a cool circuit that I really want to mention that I had no idea was a thing. He demonstrated this. He had this thing where you have a fence gate in front of an observer powering a piston, and basically what you can, if you move this normally, this piston would move forward this glass block. So if I do that, that observer updates when it's moved. But if you, because observers have a cooldown, so basically, if you have an observer like this and then another observer facing it, you can make a clock. But the reason why these alternate instead of flash at the same time is because they have a cooldown. So because it has a cooldown, if you update it and then push it like soon after that, then the cooldown, like by the time it stops moving, it'll still be in a cooldown phase and it won't power that piston. So if I move this, the piston doesn't push.
Yeah.
And there's other ways of doing this. Pingu showed another one that I recently in the Slimestone Tech Archive. Again, that's what it's useful for. You know, I didn't know that you could also use a wall for this. Instead of, you don't need another redstone block here. You just do this.
You guys can obviously find all of that in the Slimestone Discord. All links are in the video descriptions. And yeah, thank you so much, Voiding. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.
I didn't finish telling the story of what Exwire did, but yeah, he started showing us a bunch of stuff. And that's kind of like when I learned that there was so much about Slimestone that I had no idea about. And there wasn't really a place where I could go to learn all that stuff. And it's because Exwire showed up and just decided to teach us that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to give a shout out to him. And that's kind of the reason why I came up with that Discord idea. And that's it. I'm sorry, I just wanted to wrap up there.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Thanks
Don't worry,
for coming,
and,
Voiding.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. No problem. And yeah, I think that concludes our second episode of the Cubecast. See you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.